Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please free write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding this video or any other videos. As well as if you have any topic that you would like me to address through a video, please let me know. I will happy to do that. Thank you very much. And my goal is to introduce you to the fast cooking system, which include flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking, so that you can make home cooking as part of your daily routine. And one of my goal is to introduce to you to new food ingredients. In this case, something is called baby broccoli. I just found that recently in the supermarket. This baby broccoli is very similar to broccoli, except it has much longer stem. And I think this actually is very similar to the Chinese broccoli, also known as gailan. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to cook this baby broccoli, so you can try it out. I'm going to cook this dish in my Cucina 14-inch stainless steel wok. I'm going to cook this dish with chicken, purple cabbage, and some cherry tomatoes. This dish is based on a template how to cook chicken using the shallow frying method. So after I warm up the wok, I season it with my spot seasoning method. And then I add the chicken to the wok. Now this chicken has been prepped in advance using my method so that I can have the chicken anytime I want by simply thawing them out in a bowl of warm water in about 5 minutes. After I thaw out the chicken, I coat the chicken with cornstarch as well as some of my basic seasoning mix. This will enhance the umami flavor of the chicken. You can take a look at this seasoning mix by look at this video, which describe the content of this seasoning mix, and it's available for Amazon if you are interested to give it a try. I have included a link of this seasoning mix on Amazon as listed below the video. Now the approach to shallow fry the chicken is very simple. What I do is that I simply fry the chicken on one side first before I turn it over to fry other side. The cornstarch will give the chicken a nice light breading and will make the chicken slightly crispy, and it gives the chicken really great flavor. The cornstarch also serves another function. It helps the chicken to stay moist and tender. Otherwise, the chicken can get a little bit dry if you do not coat it with cornstarch. This method sometimes is also frequently known as velveting. As you can see, because the chicken has been cut into relatively small pieces, they cook very quickly. And usually within about 40 to 50 seconds, I will turn the chicken over and to cook the other side. Once I turn the chicken over, you notice that it has a nice browning, and the texture of the chicken now will have a nice crispy to it. This method is much better than deep frying because you don't use very much oil, and also the amount of cornstarch that you use for coating the chicken is relatively little in comparison if you coat it with flour. Okay, now the chicken's almost about 50 to 60% done. I add the broccoli directly to the wok, and I'm going to now the next step is to add some purple cabbage to the wok. Now the purple cabbage will give not only nice texture to the dish as a whole, but it will also provide some great color to the dish and make the dish far more interesting. So I'm going to let the chicken to fry a little bit longer before I switch to a wok spatula. And then I'm going to mix everything together to fry the broccoli. At this point, I add a little bit more oil because the broccoli has a tendency to soak up oil. And the oil is important because in order to create great flavor, the oil coating the food ingredients will provide a temperature environment for the Maillard reaction to occur. Now I switch to my wok spatula, which I start to stir everything together. The amount of time to cook the broccoli is variable depending on how you like the texture of the broccoli. In this case, I like my broccoli relatively crisp, so I add the broccoli pretty much after the chicken about almost done. Now, when I stir fry everything together, it usually takes another maybe a minute or two, and by this time, the chicken will cook to just about the texture that I like, and the broccoli will also cook to the texture with that crispy texture which I prefer. This method is a good representation of sequential stir frying, which you put the ingredients that you want to cook the least toward the end. And this is exactly what happened with the cherry tomato. I do not want to cook the cherry tomato too much. I wanted to maintain some of its texture. That's why I add the cherry tomato right at the end. At this point, I add a little bit more oil again because of the broccoli pick up a lot of oil. Now I'm going to season the dish. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce. The ratio usually is 2 parts of oyster sauce to 1 part of hoisin sauce, but you can make adjustment according how you like it. If you like the dish a little bit sweeter, then you add a little bit more hoisin sauce. The next step is that I add some Shaoxing cooking wine. I add the wine way at the end because I want the wine flavor to be more distinctive. If I add it too early, the wine flavor will pretty much cook off, and so to the end is definitely an advantage. So now the dish is almost done. I actually turn off the heat. The next step is that I do a little bit flavor chasing. After the taste test, I decided I'm going to add a little bit of sweet and chili sauce, which come from Panda Express. I'm not adding very much, just enough to provide some flavor to the dish. Now, with a few quick mix, the dish is almost done. The final step is that I would like to create a light sauce. So I'm going to add a bit water to the wok, just a little bit. I noticed that there are some of the ingredients, particularly the sauce, has burned to the bottom of the wok. So I'm going to add the water directly over those areas. And since the wok is still very hot, it actually turned into steam almost right away. And then I use my wok spatula to scrape them off. Now the dish is ready to be served, and I transfer it into a serving plate. The total cook time of this dish is a little bit about 8 minutes. As you can see, it is a very wonderful dish. It has a great nutritional value. The baby broccoli looks fantastic, and then I have the purple cabbage as well as some cherry tomatoes. The chicken is used mainly as a condiment rather than as the primary ingredients. In this case, the baby broccoli is the primary ingredients. But when you combine them together, they provide interesting contrast and flavor, and it makes the dish very tasty. As you can see, the seasoning which I use is a combination of oysters and hoisin sauce with a little bit of sweet chili sauce. But you can season it in almost any way that you would like it. Now, the baby broccoli is a new vegetable for me. I have never had it before, and I really enjoy it. The baby broccoli has far more stem as compared to a regular broccoli. For those of you who might not familiar with a Chinese vegetable known as gailan, which frequently refers to as Chinese broccoli, when I see the baby broccoli, I can see a lot of similarity between gailan and baby broccoli. Okay, so if you come into the baby broccoli next time at a grocery store, you know what to do with it. Give it a try. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system, so that your cooking will be practical, efficient, creative, and fun. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.